Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome back to Learn to Read Qur'an. So in today's lesson, we're building on what we did last time, where we talked about the extended stretch, where we said we can now stretch up to 4. It could have been 5, but just for teaching purposes, we keep it equal to 4. Well, we're actually moving on today, and we're looking at this. So this is med again. Yes, you can see the same word, you'll recognize that. But it's a different word in brackets. This word here, Laazim. Now, in Arabic, for tajweed purposes, for Qur'an purposes, that means this is a compulsory stretch. Without going into too much detail and confusing people, what that means is that this stretch here has no choices. The other stretch before we said had choices of 4 and 5. We kept it to 4 just to keep it consistent. But this stretch has to be a grand 6. Oh my goodness, yes, 6 stretch. Get that extra pair of lungs ready. So this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be stretching for 6. And I promise you, it doesn't go beyond 6. There's no such thing as an 8 stretch or a 10 stretch. No, 6 is the most. So let's have a look at this. We'll start with line 1. We're here with this first word. We have a dal with a fatha and an alif. So that would have been a 2 count stretch. But then you spot the squiggly med, so you say to yourself, can't fool me, I know that's going to be 4. So why are we now going to stretch this for more than 4? Well, the clue is in the letter that follows that squiggly med. Have a look. It's a ba. Okay, nothing special about that, but it's the fact that it's got a shadda. And if you take a quick glance along the other examples on this line, you'll see that every time you saw a squiggly med, so here we go, got the squiggly med in that one, we've got one here, and oh my goodness, we've got 2 here, but every time you have that med, it's followed by, I get to use my highlighter, I'm so excited, it's followed by, oh that didn't work very well, but anyway, you know what I mean, it's followed by a letter with a shadda. I don't really like that. I think I'm going to take that off. No. Not so excited about using my highlighter anymore. I just think I'll stick to my nice green colour. I like that. Okay, so let's have a look at this. We've got dabbatin. Did you hear that long 6 stretch? I'll do it one more time so you can hear it. Dabbatin. This was a 6 stretch. Yes, a 6 stretch. And so you can tell that's what's going to happen for the rest of the line. We have a sheen that's being stretched for 6 in a sh noise. Shaqu. So this got a 2 count stretch of itself. This here was 6. A, 2, had, juni. That was 2. That one is a really complicated one, but you know what? I just had to put it in there because if you can read this, you can read anything. A bit like if you can drive in London, you can drive anywhere. So this is a, 2, had, juni. That's a 2 count stretch. Okay, we've got some more examples of this 6 count stretch on line 2. Let's have a look. We've got the sod. Recognize the 6 count stretch. You have a squiggly med followed by a letter with a shadda. That is the reason for extending what was already a 4 count stretch into a 6 count stretch. Safatin. This was 2 here, wasn't it? And because every time the 6th stretch is followed by a letter with shadda, you really have to prepare yourself, because you have to give time to the letter with the shadda. You have to make sure that the double letter can be heard clearly. Otherwise, you're not saying a letter with a shadda without giving that extra time for the two, in this case, two fairs that are sitting there in that shadda. Let's have a look at this next one. You've got a ya with a dhamma. That's easy. You. Here's your 6 count stretch. So you've got you, had, do, stretched for 2, and then na. I'll do that one again because I did it a little bit disjointedly. And if I do it again, hopefully in a more continuous way, you'll hear it how it should be. You had, do, na. Now, this one at the end of line 2. Me, na. So the thing is, if the letter with the shadda is a meme, which it is here, or is a noon, which it was here, then you must remember to hold the ghunna. That bit can't be missed. So there is just so much going on, isn't there? Here we have the hamza, it's stretched for 6. Then when we land on the meme, because of the shadda, we have to make sure we hear the ghunna. And then we have meme with a kasra and a ya, so that is a 2 count stretch. Really, there is a lot going on. But I'm hoping that because you've been practicing relentlessly, that this is now becoming second nature to you. So I'll do this one at the end of line 2 one more time. Me, na. Okay, so this is where you have a 6 count stretch in these words. This is a 6 count stretch in words. Why do I point that out? Because here on lines 3 and 4, we see where we have 6 count stretches in letters. Letters? Yes. Well, hopefully, if you've had a look at the Qur'an, maybe you're familiar with some surahs from some chapters of the Qur'an, you know that some of them start with just particular letters. I think this one is a very familiar one for most people. Most people have heard of the chapter called Yasin. So this is this one here. But I'm going to go through and show you how these letters are read when they occur at the beginning of some of the chapters of Qur'an. Now, not every single chapter of Qur'an starts with these huruf muqatta'at, which are the separated letters, which is what these letters are here on lines 3 and 4. But when they do, it's handy to know how to read them. But as I have often said, this is a beginner's course. So don't worry too much if you think to yourself, this is going to tip me over the edge. I don't think I can learn this now. Don't worry. It'll be here on this video. Come back to it when you feel you have the strength to. So let's just have a look at that. So we've got a qaf here. But the fact that it has the med on, this qaf sound is stretched for 6. So I'm going to just go across very gently and read line 3 for you. Qaf, Sad, Noon, Yasin, Ha, Mim. So you can see that any of the letters that had the squiggly med on top, here in these letters, get stretched for 6. When it's in a word, you must have a letter with a shadda after the squiggly med. But in the letters, whenever you see a squiggly med written on one of these letters at the beginning of some of the surahs of the Qur'an, you will stretch the sound of that letter for 6. So let's have a look at this final line. Alif, Lam, Mim. Alif, Lam, Mim, Ra. Alif, Lam, Mim, Sad. So there is a lot more when it comes to the pronunciation of these letters that we've gone through in lines 3 and line 4. But really what I'm picking out here is just the fact that when you do see the squiggly med on any of these letters at the beginning of some of the surahs, you will stretch for 6. Alif doesn't get any stretch, and any letter that doesn't have a squiggly med, like for example, the ya here or the ha here, that's only stretched for 2. But as I said, this is just for completeness sake, in case you come across some of these letters and you think, oh, how does that get read and why is there a med on top? So hopefully you're a little bit the wiser now. Don't worry too much if it's a little bit too much information, because our main aim is to be able to read what we see. We're not going into too much of the theory. That'll be in the next level. But for now, please keep on practicing. Don't give up. You can do this. Assalamu alaikum.